Okay, I just wanted to thank everyone for their support with our channel. Looks like we're growing pretty nicely. Apologize for not doing a video in a while. Anthony's been picking up the slack there, but just wanted to go over a few things. One of the things that we're going to do a video on right now for today is the power steering fluid. I actually replaced the power steering fluid about a month ago, and I ended up using the genuine Toyota T5 or T whatever that is. But I used this, and then I read online on I Hate Mud that if you use that, it's not Dextron, and the power steering pump needs Dextron, so it'll ruin your pump, and a few people said it ruined their pump. And I recently started hearing a whining noise, and I thought it might have been the transmission fluid that I did, but it turns out it sounds like it's coming from the power steering pump over here. So what I'm going to do today is try to flush it with the synthetic. I only have 1 quart left, unfortunately. So I know I'm probably going to need more than that, but I'm going to try to flush what I can, or pump out what I can and fill it with that. And if I end up needing more, I'll just go down to Walmart and get the Super Tech crap and put that in there. It's going to be better than what's in here now, because I don't think this is compatible. So anyway, let's get started. I've taken this off before, so this should be pretty easy for me. There's a little tab right here. Pull that tab back, and this will slide right off. You want to grab some pliers and pull these 2 connections off. But before you do that, make sure you have a rag or something underneath this. And if you have any hoses, try to siphon out whatever you can from the reservoir before you do that. I end up just putting like a little catch pan or something under here. It's easier that way for me, because this is it looks like it's a big opening, but it's actually a small little tube opening here, so it's kind of annoying. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so I ended up taking the hose off that end. I cracked this open a little bit to let some air in, and I basically poured this out into this bottle here, this Gatorade bottle. So as you can see, that's pretty black. That's not good. If you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see some light through it, but it's not really that good. Anyway, this has only been changed like not too long ago, so I'd say like 10,000 miles ago. So that's pretty bad. So what we're gonna do is, I got the fluid out of here. Now we're gonna need this is the high pressure side. So high pressure is coming out through here, and this is the return line. So the high pressure side needs to be, this is where all the fluid is going to be coming out of when I turn the wheel to the right and to the left. You can do it with the car off, which is what I'm going to show you. So we're going to jack the front of the car up, because you don't want to turn the wheel with the tires flat on the ground. You're going to wear the tire in that spot. It might seem like you're just going left and right, not a big deal, but if you realize how much weight's on the front end of this car, and you just cranking the tire on that one spot and rubbing it against the ground like that, it's not good for the tire at all. So we're going to jack the front end of the car up a little bit till the tires are off the ground, and we're going to turn the wheel to the right and let the fluid come out into a hose, and then we're going to turn the wheel all the way to the left and let the rest of the fluid come out into the hose. And then while we're doing that, while we're letting the old fluid come out, we're going to have this full of new fluid, and that's going to basically suck the new fluid in. So I'll show you what I'm talking about, because we don't want any air to get back into the system. So that's the reason why we're doing all this. We don't want any air back and going through that pump. Okay, so jack the front of the car up. Tires are just barely off the ground. I got the reservoir cleaned out. I used some what's it called, acetone, cleaned out the inside, and then okay, so we got it set up. Got the return line down there, high pressure line there into a bottle. Alright, turn the wheel all the way to the left now, to the right, or left, yeah, to the left. And if you can see, it's hard to tell, but fluid's getting poured back into the poured into the bottle there. It's almost full now. It was pretty much empty. The old fluid is getting pushed out, and the new fluid is being sucked down from the reservoir. This was almost full a second ago. So now I'm gonna add some more fluid, and we're gonna keep doing this. Alright, so now I emptied the bottle out. The Coke, the Pepsi, the Gatorade bottle's empty. I filled the reservoir back up with new fluid. Now turn the steering wheel all the way to the right now. So just turning the wheel to the right. See all the old fluids getting pumped into there, and the new fluid's being sucked in. No air is getting drawn into the system. Okay, so that's how you do that. And just make sure, maybe you can put like a cap on the end of this thing so you have to hold it with your finger, but not a big deal. But you want to make sure you don't get any air sucked back into the system. Okay, so we were basically able to change the fluid out. Now we have brand new fluid. Connected the hoses back up, turned it on, and it's still whining, so I guess it's the power steering pump's gonna have to be replaced at this point, which is fine because now I can show you a video on it. But it was working perfectly fine until I put the shit fluid in, the different fluid in it. So now, I don't know if you hear that whine, that whining noise. It's definitely coming from that power steering pump. It's either that or the alternator, but the alternator I just replaced. So, it sounds like a familiar noise, so, I don't know. I don't know if you can see. Right there's the power steering pulley right there. Definitely sounds like it's coming from there. So, anyway, I'm gonna have to end up replacing that. We're going on a trip down to I think it got a little quieter. But we're going on a trip to South Carolina to see the eclipse. So I'm trying to get everything ready for that. I got to clean the car out now, wash it, and just get it all around ready. So that's what we're going to be doing. On another hand, the other thing we're working on today is Anthony's shifter here. We're going to cut a section of it out here and probably here. And we're going to shorten it. So I'm going to work on that today as well. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I set up a little jig here, made that level. So basically, undo this. If you lay this flat, that's level right there. So that's what I put that there for. So when I go to weld this back up, I can keep it level. So, that said, next step is to cut this. So if for those of you who don't know what I'm trying to do, I'll show you right here. So if you look at that picture right there, you have, that's this part, and then as you can see, it connects directly to the transmission part. which is all the way down here right now. So this whole middle section needs to come out, which is pretty much what I'm going to do now. So we're going to start cutting right along here and here, and we're going to cut that off, and then we're going to see how we're going to get this joined up. Okay, so that was a fail. This is going to be a lot harder to do off of a picture. So I'm going to have to go to Anthony's and mount this to the transmission and get it all lined up and grind everything down gradually till everything's perfect, and then tack it all into place, because doing it like this I could end up screwing this up a lot more, because it looks like what they did was I could either set up a jig for this, but now I don't know how wide these two are supposed to be. So for those of you doing this, it's probably a good idea to make a jig and have everything set up before you I mean, I did sort of do that for the height aspect, but the width and everything I didn't do, so when I cut that, everything fell apart. Clearly wasn't thinking there. Okay, so this is a project that's gonna have to wait until I get over to Anthony's again, so we can work on that and try to fix it, have it mounted to the transmission, and basically tack it all back together. So for now I'm just going to clean up my car and yeah, go from there.